If this video shows up on your YouTube, then God has this message for you. Watch till the end. I was trafficked as a child on a minor scale due to CPS. So on a mid-December night back in 1992, I was taken away by CPS, by my mom's social worker, Marianne, and by a police officer. Don't know his name. I remember it was dark out at night. I was 4 years old, and they just came into the apartment. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared. My mom came out of my room, which was the back room, and she was crying. She was bawling her eyes out. I didn't know what was going on. And my mom started putting all my clothes and my belongings in a black plastic bag. And she gave me her stuffed animal dog, which I still have to this day. I never liked the dog. My mom wasn't perfect. My biological mom wasn't perfect, you know. There were times she did neglect us. I know. There were times I had to steal food from our, cabinets, like cheese or cornflakes or something, so my younger brother and I could have something to eat. I was 3 years old doing that. But I didn't know what was going on. I was taken away from the only environment that I knew. And even though that environment wasn't a good environment, that's the environment I was comfortable in. And at 4 years old, I didn't know what was going on. And to be ripped away from your biological mom, even though she wasn't perfect, just to be ripped away and brought to a different family, a stranger's family, it was scary for me. I was crying the whole time. I want my mommy. I want my mommy. But eventually things worked out. And I guess I grew to like my adopted family. Maybe somehow Stockholm Syndrome played a role or something, excuse me. But this whole traumatic situation caused me to trauma bond with my adopted family, and that's what it is. That's how I bonded with my adopted family, is trauma bonding, and that's not real bonding. That is not real bonding. That's forced. That trauma bonding was forced on a little 4-year-old girl. And I didn't realize that until a couple weeks ago. So sorry for this long video, but this is my story. Good morning, YouTube. So I thought I was going to go to the food pantry, but turns out my brakes aren't working. They're going all the way down to the floor, which we all know that's not a good thing. So yeah, it's just funny how things work out. But I'm hoping it's just something as simple as air in the brakes line. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I hope it's something like that simple. I'm not a mechanic at all, as you can tell. Um, I guess like I can, YouTube videos to learn how to figure out how to fix the problem. Cause well, I don't have like mechanic money right now, and two, yeah, we're all on a tight budget, or the majority of us are. So yeah, but nonetheless, I feel like this is a lesson from God. Like well, for the past couple of weeks, I have not been talking to my adoptive mom because of well, something that's been going on. And I've been having these strong feelings about, like, I don't know how you would say, like, how I would say it, but last year I realized that, I've been with my adoptive family for over 30 years, 32 years or something like that, since I was like 4.5, almost 5. And while I'm very grateful for them, I realized, I spent the majority of my life with them, thus making me a stranger to my biological family. And I was named after my biological grandma, Callie. But because I was taken away at such a young age, or taken away in general, I didn't get to have a close relationship with the woman I was named after. I didn't get to grow up with my younger brother. I grew up with my adoptive brothers, who were strangers to me at the time. They're my non-biological brothers. I didn't really get to grow up with my cousins, but I got to spend time with my adoptive cousins. I established a relationship with them, and with relationships, they take a lot of time and energy. And I used my time and energy to establish relationships with my adoptive family. And that was taking time and energy from establishing relationships with my biological family. It's like what I'm feeling is on a deep spiritual level, so it's kind of like hard to explain. So it's probably hard. I wouldn't be surprised if it's hard for you guys to understand this. But yeah, I guess this video is going a different way than what I planned. But yeah. So anyways, these emotions, these deep spiritual emotions that I've been having for the last year, have been building up and building up and building up. And I've tried talking to my adoptive mom about it, but she doesn't understand. And I can see why. Like, she's at the opposite end of the spectrum kind of thing. And yeah. So because she didn't understand, I decided not to talk to her about it anymore, which is why these emotions, well, maybe not why, but it contributed to these spiritual emotions that I'm feeling to pile up even more. And I guess if you've been in the foster care system or been adopted, you may understand what I'm talking about. Or maybe something similar, or maybe not similar, but like kind of similar in a different way. I don't know. But yeah. I'm going to be saying but yeah a lot in this video because it's just something I resort to. Sorry, that was my neighbor. She's leaving. She's such a sweet lady. Sorry, another neighbor of mine was coming back from what's it called? AA meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous. He's been going like every day for the past maybe like over 3 years. I'm proud of him. I realize that, like, everybody has a story to tell. Like, every one of my neighbors and everybody in general. So, back to my story. For the record, this video is not meant to bash my adoptive family, my adoptive mom. I made this video so others can understand, like, spiritually about some things that foster children or adoptive children go through. All right. It's not like abandonment. Well, maybe like in a lot of ways we do feel abandonment. But when a child is taken away from their biological family, they do miss out on establishing relationships, or like, especially when they're younger. When they're older, they've obviously already established those relationships. But when they're younger, when they're taken away when they're younger, they miss out on establishing these relationships. And it has caused me to be like a stranger to my own biological family. I am in touch with, a few of my biological family members, and I am blessed to be able to, call them up or message them on Facebook or something. Like, we stay in contact. But, like, getting together, when we try to get together, like, I have this, like, anxiety, which I shouldn't have. But it's just the way things are. I need to work through that. And, because it's not normal. It's not normal for kids to be strangers to their own family. It's not. It caused so much trauma for me. So much. And CPS has caused so much trauma for me. And it's deeply spiritual. Deeply spiritual. So I think this is why God is saying, walk away. It's time to walk away. Move on. And it's going to be really hard for me, like I said, because 32 years, 33 years or whatever, over 30 years. It's walking away from all that, establishing new relationships again, or trying to reestablish them. But I'm putting all my faith in God about this, all of it. I don't want my kids to not know their biological grandparents or uncles or I think the majority of the great-grandparents, well, my granddad and my grandma on my dad's side of the family have already passed away, so my kids aren't going to get to know them. But I'll tell them, like, what I know, which is very, very little. Maybe if I get in contact, like, face-to-face contact with my biological family members on my dad's side, they can share stories with the kids, my kids. That would be great. But one thing I don't know if I regret it or it just makes me feel really sad, is that I really didn't get to establish a relationship with the woman I was named after. But yeah, I established a relationship with my adoptive grandmother. And, well, like, nobody's to blame. Maybe CPS. It's just hard. It's really hard. And I feel, like, I am a victim of CPS. I am a victim of CPS. And I honestly feel like my adoptive mom was too. Like, she believed their lies, and she still does. And I know she's probably not going to see things on my level for quite a long time, if ever, in this life. But it's really traumatizing what happened to me. And I should say I'm sorry for this raw video, but if it's reached you, it was meant for you to watch. Even if you don't know the experience, it was meant for you to receive this message. All right? I hope you have a good day. So recently, my adoptive mother and I have had a falling out. She was trying to tell me what to do with my children, and I just felt like she was overstepping her boundaries. And realized she's doing it out of love, but she was being very too persistent. And I've actually, like, at the same time, I've deeply spiritually realized that, like, you know, she's not biologically connected to them. And I felt that on a deep spiritual level. And I know there's spiritual ties between my adoptive mom and my kids. There's spiritual ties between us, my adoptive mom, and me, and my adoptive family, and me, because, you know, we've established that over the years. And but, like, I felt like, you know, between, like, her bloodline and my bloodline, she was overstepping her boundaries. And I said that to her, and she didn't like it, but I didn't like that she was overstepping her boundaries, so I decided not to talk to her. And since I've decided that, I have had dreams where, like, you know, I'm working on myself. And the other night I actually had a weird dream about a miscarriage, which I've never had a miscarriage. I've had two stillbirths. Technically, they are miscarriages, but spiritually, I don't look at them as miscarriages. I look at them as stillbirths. You know, I was in my late pregnancies. But anyways, in my dream, I had two miscarriages. Well, one was a past, and the other one was, you know, happening at that moment. And I'm like, this is weird. So when I woke up, I looked it up, and you know, said I meant that I was going to go through some transitions. And I'm like, well, I'm going through one right now, and it's a big one for me. It really is. And I also had a dream that same night about my mom, my adoptive mom. She was at a funeral. She lost someone. And I realized when I woke up, like, I feel like she's losing me, but it needs to happen. And I've also learned that my adoptive younger brother is moving out of state too. So maybe in a way she's also losing him. Maybe that miscarrying dream was actually for her. Not like for her, but was representing her. Like, she's losing two children. But yeah, and then last night I had a dream where I was like driving through well, at first I was driving past a construction site, then I needed to turn around. And so I drove through the construction site. It was just like a little bit of road work. And I tried going back to where I came from, but due to the construction site, it wouldn't let me. Like, there was no way I could do that. And so it forced me to take a different turn. And I'm like, when I woke up, I'm like, that's so weird. Like, it's weird to have a construction dream. Like, who has a construction dream? Well, apparently I do. Callie does. So I looked it up, looked up the meaning, and it said You know, if you're having a construction dream, you're under construction. And I'm like, well, yeah, with everything that's going on, it made a lot of sense. And I've been, been thinking about like going back to my old ways, going back to my adoptive family. But I don't maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see myself doing that. I see myself moving on. But yeah, I've been praying to God a lot about this. And I feel like he's telling me to walk away. Walk away, Callie. Walk away. And it's kind of hard for me because I've spent 32 years with this family. And I'd be walking away from 32 years. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen. So sorry about this rant. But yeah, this video was meant to take a different turn. Just like my construction dream. I was trying to go to the food pantry, and due to the brakes not working, I can't go to the food pantry, so I'm making a different video. So I made a different video. But yeah, funny how things take a different turn. But I hope my message has inspired you, or maybe given you food for thought or something. Or maybe you're just like, yeah, lady, shut up. You're just ranting on. I don't know. But I pray that this message, I hope that this message was inspiring for you. All right. And if you need any prayers, let me know. Leave a comment down in the comment section, whatever you call it. Or I don't know if my email is linked to my account. If it is, and you can see it, email me, okay? But all right. I hope you guys have a good day. Love you. Bye-bye.